Want some whiskey in your water? Some sugar in your tea? What are these crazy questions that you're asking me? This is the greatest party that could ever be. Don't turn on the lights, 'cause I don't want to see. Mama told me not to come. Mama told me that ain't the way to have fun, son. Anyway, brought a bunch of books this time. I know I got requested for, hey, bring some of these books that you speak of, so I brought a few of them out. Don't leave. Please share the video. Subscribe if you haven't already, for those of you out there. Now, societal collapse. They're preparing for a societal collapse. That is what it all boils down to, because there is only a matter of time before things start to fall apart. And what's bubbling underneath us as well. You know, you got the New Madrid's going to go up. People say that's going to happen anytime now. There's stuff seeping from the Great Appalachians all the way down to New York City, and all kinds of weird things going on underneath us that are just odd. And they have been doing some very strange tunneling through a lot of old mines. Folks have been seeing it, and people have been talking about it, and nobody's telling anyone else about it because we're all too worried about everything else going on. And there's more reasons why the National Guard's showing up in more states around your area. And that is not just for illegals and rounding people up for those sorts of things. Something big is coming, and you need to start paying attention. You've got Russia over here practicing and playing around with new nuclear warheads and missiles, and you've got ships that are off the coast of all kinds of fun locations for a nice little World War III party. So if you're not paying attention to any of these things, and you're just mainly focused on whatever's on your CNN or whatever your station is you're watching, then you're definitely misinformed. You need to be preparing for a societal collapse, and that could be from anything. The bubble could bust for everything you buy every day, and it could be as simple as that. You could be living in the U.S. and it could be one of those situations where, the dollar collapses. We could end up in that kind of state. Have you seen the price of gold lately? It's climbing, and silver as well. Those are the hedge against inflation, and you should be collecting that as well. I know it's getting harder with the price of it going up. Back in the 80s, I know it was a lot, 80s, 90s. It was a lot cheaper. It was like $8 or something like that. An ounce or something back at that time. And I've watched it go up substantially over the years. Now, the things that, to think about with this stuff that can assist you. If one thing that you can see right off the bat would be like a bank holiday. And that would mean like, you go to the register to pay for your stuff, and you go to swipe your credit card or your debit card, or technically your debit card, and nothing's working, and the card readers go down. And then the ATMs stop working and all that stuff. That's called a bank holiday. That's when you better have cash or you're not leaving. So I would recommend soon you probably should start carrying some form of paper money to be able to pay for stuff, that whatever it is you need, last minute items, so that you can get your butt home to safety. Because once the money runs out, everybody starts taking everything, right? And when everybody starts taking everything, then your best friend or even your pastor could be your worst enemy. It could be as simple as, it could be some chick in a car that says, "Oh, I hurt my leg" or something, and you're like trying to help them, and they stab you in the chest with a harpoon or something. I like to come up with crazy scenarios for some of you out there, because I know a lot of you like that sense of humor. Where'd she get the harpoon from? I don't know. It could happen. You know what I mean? You could be vulnerable to all kinds of stuff. People could start using their kids as leverage to get you where they want you, so that they can take you out and take your stuff. You need to start thinking like that, or yeah, I know it's probably not the best way of doing it, but you better start keeping keep your head on a swivel. You got to stay frosty, because things could get bad and real quick. Now, I'll get into some more scenarios here, but Here's one that I was talking about in my last video. I don't usually share books, but I will today. I've got quite a few here. I'm just going to be real quick with this. This is, if you see this one, The Dark Secrets of SHTF Survival. Now, this book has real life scenarios, real stories of SHTF scenarios of real situations. Like, I'm talking combat, war, war-torn countries, things like that, and also your typical day in life, blackout or whatever. These situations do cause people to act unruly. A world without a rule of law. Cops are going to go home. They're going to tend to their families. EMS guys, they're all going to do the same thing. They're not going to be able to come pick you up when you dial 911. You need to get ready. No one's coming for you. No one is coming to save you. You need to be ready to prepare for you, save your family. That's what everybody else is going to be doing as well. You need to keep that in mind. They're not going to bend over backwards. There might be situations. You might run into a guy like me. I might help you out, but only to a certain extent. You'll have to help yourself. So keep that in mind, right? No, good book. Here is, let's see. Let's go down some of the popular ones that all of you probably know by now. If you want a good read, this is a good one. It gets you some pretty good scenarios. This is 1 second after it. It goes into like a whole series of books. I don't even need to really talk about this book much. Most of you already know what it is, and you've already seen it. Probably already read it. If you haven't, I highly recommend it. And I'm pretty sure everyone that's watching right now, comment below if you've read it or if you recommend it. Please share this video. It might be good for somebody to learn some books. All right. Here's one, very popular. This is Going Home by A. American. This is a scenario of an EMP. He's driving along in his car. It's the best book ever. I say this is the best book ever. Driving along out of nowhere, EMP hits, and the radio stops working, vehicle stops working, and everything. He's already prepared for this. He's got MREs and dashboard and all kind of stuff. He can go in the back. He's the details that I like about this book the most. He goes and breaks down everything from the type of knife he has to the weapon on his side and everything. I just love the detail. I think the detail in this book is really good. So those of you that like detail, you want to know like what exactly is going on, this is the book you want to read. This book here, Jim Cobb. I haven't seen Jim Cobb in the prepping world in a while, but if you see him, tell him I said hi. He makes the best preparedness books on the planet. This book right here, The Countdown to Preparedness, if you don't know what to get, if you don't know why to get it, and you don't know how to get your stuff situated, this book will unscrew your head and put information in. So you want that book. Not going to share that one yet. Let's show you this one. This one is a really good book. This is The Survival Group. And this book was so good that I had to actually marked a bunch of tabs that I go back to, and I like to read some of these little sections here because it is such a good book. And if I've got marked tabs in there like it's a Bible, it probably is. It's a really good book. But that's The Survival Group. It's really easy to find. These are cheap books too. They're not outrageous. I can't even remember what the price tag was on that one. All right, here's one. This was like, I think this was like $4. This was $4. It was on sale. This is Teowaki. This is How to Survive the End of the World as we know it. And this book even has the tabs because it had such great information about anytime someone asked me like, hey, where do I go get training on this, and this? I need to know how to do that because your number one survival skill is up here. Everything you need to know, like, hey, someone's bleeding out. What do I do? Oh my gosh, they're choking. What do I do? Those are like just basic survival skills in the first aid category. And then you've got all your other stuff. Even radio operating. So he had like a whole section in here of exactly where to go and who to ask to get that information. Jim Cobb does that too in this book and in his comms book. If you want to know more about communications, he does a full communications book. So that's really good. This is a really good book too. And you're probably going to find it for like $4 or $5. You can't go wrong. It's a good read. It's actually a really good book. Just slinging. I've got a tab in this one too, a little heart note. This is Mags. Mags. This is another really good book. You can find this one here. If you don't know what a MAG is, it's a mutual assistance group. It's for survival. You say we have our own mutual assistance group, kind of. It's it's a friendship circle, I guess. Friends of friends of friends. We are all like buddies, but in a way, I mean, all of us have these skill sets, so I don't really have to be too worried about now how we work together. That's a different story. It just depends, and that can go for you too. I mean, if you're working in a community where there's a lot of first responders and stuff, like myself and Sippy, we work with a lot of first responders and little rescue groups and stuff a lot of the times. So we get a lot of folks that we're just like-minded. So it's like, hey, yes, yeah. And it could lead down to, hey, you like to shoot guns? I like to shoot guns too. That's fun. Woo, yeah, let's go shoot some guns. It's like that, or you want to have a barbecue? Yeah, let's have a barbecue. Birthday party? Why not? Anyways, it's that simple. It doesn't have to be crazy with a mutual assistance group, and it could go, depending on what you want to do with it. But you can practice drills, NBC, everybody getting mop level 4, put your gas mask on, all that fun stuff. Goof around with some rifles. It's always good training. Teach somebody how to break one down, put it back together, clean it, all that stuff. Or first aid, stuff. Teach them how to can. There's a lot of folks that need to learn how to can, because canning your own food saves you a lot of money. Just don't set it on a cold counter. That stuff will blow up. One that I have here that, don't laugh at me, but I like this book. All right. This is Keep Your Crowbar Handy. If you've never read this book, this is another great book to read. It's based off of like a zombie apocalypse thing. Okay. Now, I've got a lot of great zombie apocalypse books, but that's not the reason why I recommend this book. I recommend this book based off the preparedness aspect of it, because this dude is rocking some preparedness. And he carried a crowbar throughout the whole thing. That's not a spoiler, because that's what the book's about. Keep your crowbar handy. Driving old military trucks, and it's got his BOV, all that stuff. It's got like bug out vehicle related stuff and running over zombies and crushing their skulls. It's a really good book. So anyway, it's just a good book. All right, another one here. Now, this one is from Michael C. Rupert, and this is Confronting the Collapse. This is the crisis of energy and money in a post-peak oil world. Okay. The reason why I bring you this one is because there are so many versions of collapse. And it's like I said before, you could end up in a society where the bubble burst, and it could be everything that you buy every day. Oil makes everything. Oil keeps cars going. Oil makes electric cars. Oil makes freaking toothbrushes, razor blade, freaking everything you buy every day. Plastic baggies, anything plastic, that's oil. Everything that you buy every day is consisted of oil. Oil makes everything. So if one thing that the world is always fighting for more of is oil. The reason why there's ships outside of certain locations in the world right now from the United States. Could it be for oil? I don't know. It could be for the other 90 million excuses we've made about everything else. Are we going to go into Venezuela and take their oil? Are we going to go here and take their oil? We're going to stop the oil production from these folks or that folks? And they were saying, like, if oil stopped from some of these places that, that produce it and ship it, and you got the Suez Canal, tight little space you got to travel through, they could block that at any time, or any other place. Excuse me. They could stop any of these locations from producing oil. And those people, it's like things that you're going to need could be as simple as, you might, for your area, you might be surrounded by woods, setting up traps. You can set up trip bow traps and stuff. You set the bow on the ground, pull the thing back, put some arrows in it, and then you could set up a trip location where they trip it, and it shoots the arrow, that kind of thing. That's if we get primitive and we don't have enough ammunition to keep making trip shotgun shells or anything like that. There's all types of traps you can set up around your area to keep people to come and take in what's yours, for those of you out there. But getting home is the other thing, and you want to make sure that you're prepared for that hike back home. Keeping a bag, keeping a get-home bag, something that makes sense. Don't pack 20 million things in it. It just needs to get you home. So too many people get carried away with these bags and kits and stuff, but anything from weapons, what you would need to defend your home and property. People, when they run out of stuff, they're going to come take what's yours. It also goes with fuel. Fuel runs out, they're going to come take your fuel. And, you know, people are going to be punching holes with little screwdrivers, you know, punching them with the freaking, the gas tanks and draining them into a pan and pouring it into their car and, you know, all kinds of stuff. That stuff did happen, and it will happen again. I'm quite sure of it. So you need to be prepared for those things. But I'm pretty sure that's what a lot of this stuff's getting set up around the United States, all these different locations. What are they going to do when they're done using all this stuff and all these different crime-fighting tools? Who's going to take over? You know, who's going to take it and use it to hunt you down? So you need to keep that stuff in mind. There's a bigger threat, and they're just not talking about it. But please like, share. God bless you guys. Take care.